Certainly, I was, as is the president, disappointed that we don't have a comprehensive energy bill. But then, given that, I said there's a lot of things you can do within the agency. I'm very proud of the way RPE got started. But it was exactly that. I brought in really good people, and then I backed them, and then I blocked and tackled for them. Okay? So, so what's visible is RPE, the energy hubs, things like that. But it's really the undercurrent of what was happening that was the most important. I came in and I realized, I never was involved in politics. I never was involved in the Washington scene. I was frequently an advisor, but as a scientist and not in the inner circles of whatever. And it took me a year or two to grow into it, where I said, I was saying, well, you guys are the experts in this, and I realized more and more that apart from a few people, my instincts became, I thought, were better. And so I just, so my regret might have been to start to exert a little bit earlier my instincts. It's hard to say. The American public waffles in changes in weather, and you try to teach them this is about risk, and a lot of the American public thinks that the bitter cold winters is evidence that this is all rubbish, where quite candidly it's actually the opposite, because of northern latitude, instabilities in jet streams. But and it's a risk thing. It's, if we go a certain temperature, there's a risk that bad things will happen. There's a lower risk that really bad things happen. If you go higher in temperature, there's a higher risk bad things will happen, a higher risk that really bad things will happen. And so, and then how much are you willing to pay to lessen that risk? The costs, I feel, are constantly overestimated. On everything from clean water to clean air to this, they're overestimated. I personally think if you start a slow ramp in the cost of carbon today, make it $5 or $10, make it ramp in a dozen years to $40, $50, which is what the oil companies are carrying on their books, because they're going to make 30 or 40-year investments. And they say, we're going to make investments thinking the price of carbon will be $40. Okay, they're already doing this. So over, a 10-year or 15-year horizon, then what will happen? Well, it drives innovation. It does increase the price of electricity. A little bit, it increases the price of gas. So here's the solution to that. Make it revenue neutral. You take the money and you mail a check to all the adult citizens in the United States, whether they're retired or whether they're unemployed or whatever. Just mail them a check every month. You have to make a streamlined way of making it not cost a lot of money to mail them a check, but you mail them a check. So it looks revenue neutral. And then over this, and then you have an inexpensive education campaign to say this is what's happening. Get the Republicans and Democrats behind this. And then it will cause innovation, it will cause right funding decisions. And I know a little bit about, I'm a little bit hopeful in the technology, but not wildly optimistic. We will learn to sequester and capture carbon at $50 a ton. We will do all those things.